I cannot think of anything more horrifying.
It really has shut down drag.
Just produced some of the harshest, most draconian laws that literally threaten trans existence.
What's your reaction to that video?
You know, I'm going to choose my words carefully, partly because I'm appearing as secretary, so I can't talk about campaigns. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to leave aside the strangeness of trying to prove your manhood by putting up a video that splices images of you in between oiled up, shirtless bodybuilders, and just get to the bigger issue that is on my mind whenever I see this stuff in the policy space, which is, again, who are you trying to help? Who are you trying to make better off? And what public policy problems do you get up in the morning thinking about how to solve?
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here. And who are you trying to help? Who are you trying to make better off? And what public policy problems do you get up in the morning thinking about how to solve? Secretary Pete Buttigieg joined CNN's Dana Bash on Sunday and ripped into the anti-LGBTQ ad that Florida Governor Ron Tiny D DeSantis is running.
We're focused as an administration on how to get things done to make people better off. I spent my week traveling around the country to places that are benefiting from infrastructure funding. We were in Appalachia, in an eastern Kentucky community that's been wiped out by floods repeatedly, and we're bringing them highway funding that's going to help them not only improve the road but also improve the dam and protect them from floods in the future. A few weeks ago we were in North Dakota where there's a railroad crossing that was a community headache for decades, and thanks to President Biden's bipartisan infrastructure funds we finally have the resources to do something about it, and we're going to make that better and have it not be a problem holding back first responders. These are the kinds of problems that most of us got into government, politics, and public service in order to work on. And I just don't understand the mentality of somebody who gets up in the morning thinking that he's going to prove his worth by competing over who can make life hardest for a hard-hit community that is already so vulnerable in America.
Buttigieg paused before answering Bash's question as to how he felt about the garbage propaganda from the DeSantis campaign. Buttigieg rightfully based his response on the Hatch Act and not on his own personal reactions. The Hatch Act prohibits civil service employees in the executive branch from engaging in any political activity. He remained professional in his light of his apparent disgust. DeSantis tried to portray a weak Donald Trump as a friend of the LGBTQ community when he was nothing but. He pointed out that DeSantis trying to project strength by mixing in pictures of oiled-up bodybuilders in the video was a bit odd. Maybe Tiny D has taken a page out of the old Donald Trump handbook by presenting himself in a hero-type fashion, because in reality, DeSantis looks like an overstuffed bag of pumpkin seeds. You could tell that Buttigieg wanted to voice his anger, disgust, and revulsion as the DeSantis video, but instead took the high road. Buttigieg said that he just didn't understand the mentality of someone who gets up in the morning and judges their worth on how difficult they can make life on the already vulnerable group. And he's absolutely right. GOP extremists like Ron DeSantis have no idea about morality and what the ethical treatment of people is all about. He and others are always attacking the marginalized. It's like they are waging war on the poor and anyone who doesn't support their un-American, hate-filled agenda. The truth is that the candidates like Ron DeSantis should never be in public office. DeSantis and GOP legislators that are trying to make it life harder on people are absolutely despicable. It's not a coincidence that they're going after the LGBTQ community, Social Security, and Medicare at the same time. The Republicans profit in Congress off of the backs of the poor. They love to demonize vulnerable groups. That allows their undereducated, poor, dumb supporters to band together in defense of the indefensible and send them money. Ron DeSantis wants to drag this country into a horrific dystopian nightmare that worships at the altar of the mighty Republican dollar. DeSantis would be a disaster to our education system and set back higher learning 50 years. He's an absolute moron, and it was epic how Pete Buttigieg put him in his place. And that's a fact. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.